it all came down to, first off, it being about us.
Yeah.
Not about people that's coming. It's like, thank y'all for being here,
right.
but this is about us, because when things get hard in marriage, it's gonna be us.
Hey y'all, what's up? I'm Jade Godbolt.
I'm Mark Godbolt.
And we are the
Godbolts.
Godbolts. And this is Millennial Love Stories.
So we met in March or February 2016. I was working for Nike at the time and trying to build an influencer market here in Dallas, Texas. So one of my friends that I grew up with, worked with in the past, texted me from like a whole nother state. Like, hey man, check out this woman. Like, she's from Dallas. I see her on Instagram. So see if she'd be interested in joining the team. So I'm like, okay, sure.
So when he first reached out, I initially was like, sir, don't come in my DMs trying to meet up. Like, what is this? But the only thing that I was like, okay, this is legit, is because he had a @Nike.com email. So I'm like, okay, it's official. Like, you're really like doing this for real. You ain't just trying to like get at me.
Yeah, so she reached back out. We met up at North Park Mall
in Dallas.
North Dallas, and I was like, yeah, there's something special about her. Kept it business, but it's something special about her. And we met up like a few days later. I got some product for her. Met up with her at a
like a little like diner,
cafe
like
vibe,
lunch little situation.
I gave her the product within the first 10 minutes of sitting down, and literally we ended up talking for like 3 hours.
Yeah, it was
and
a long
time.
And at that
point, it was like, yeah, like there's something special about her. There's something different about her.
Yeah.
Like, she speaks to me in a different way.
Yeah.
So I've never met any woman especially like her. So it was like, yeah, let's see where this goes.
Yeah. And we initially got engaged. I was 5 or 6 months pregnant with our daughter, Sarai.
Yeah.
And so we had this beautiful dream of having a destination wedding in Mexico, which we started to plan, essentially. We were planning to get married in June 2020. And so...
Hold on, pause.
What?
First off, we got engaged. When I say like the next week, she already had like a wedding plan ready. Like, this is where we're getting married. This is where we're getting married. Destination. So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I mean, we just got engaged. Like, you're not gonna let it get cool or nothing. Like, it's still hot off the press. Yes. And she already had plans.
Yes.
And we're in Oregon as well at this time.
Yeah.
Really like by ourselves. All of our family are in Texas or like New York.
Yes.
So we're on the West Coast, Northwest, by ourselves. So we're thinking, okay, we can't get married out here because that would mean everybody had to come to Oregon, which was a whole different thing. So that's the reason why we even wanted to do a destination wedding in the first place.
And we both have huge families.
Massive.
So we were like, okay, we want everyone who's supposed to be there. And having a destination wedding requires, a passport, requires a few other things. So we
gotta actually do something. Yeah. You can't just pull up. Like, you gotta actually.
So we were like, if we do a destination wedding, then we know that the right amount of people are going to be there. It'll still be a large group. Like, I think we had about 60-ish of our family members that had already RSVP'd and paid money down and everything by the time, which was because we were thinking, destination wedding, maybe 30, 40 people will come. No, it was like 60 plus.
In the first like 2 weeks that like paid their down payment and everything, we're like, oh,
they were ready. And so and of course we chose like an incredible resort, and me being me, I was like, management team, let's reach out and see if we can do something, if we can do a little marketing, we can do a little cross collaboration. Yeah. So with the resort that we had chosen, we actually also had negotiated a collaboration with them. So a lot of our wedding was actually going to be comped. And then COVID hits, and within 6 weeks, we literally canceled our wedding.
Well, we had to cancel because we're thinking about like the families that have put money down, and we're like, we don't know what's up ahead, and like they could need those funds.
Right, and we didn't feel right having them
like trying to keep dragging it out to see if like maybe things will change by May. Maybe things will change.
Yeah.
June 13th was the actual date.
Yeah.
And so we ended up canceling the wedding literally the day after we made the decision to cancel. They closed Mexico to the USA.
So within a couple weeks, we literally canceled our wedding, got a pod, put a third of our things in the pod, and then moved our entire family back to Dallas.
Drove 32 hours straight from Portland, Oregon to Dallas, Texas. And still didn't know
if we were going to get married, if we were going to do a wedding or anything. We were just focused on, okay, we need to get to a safe place. We need to be with our family. We don't know if they're going to close the borders to Oregon or close the borders to Texas. We didn't know what was happening. So it was a very scary time. And we, at that point, when we got back to Dallas, because that's where we're both from, we really didn't know if we were going to have a wedding or not.
2 weeks, we didn't have a place to stay. So our apartment wasn't going to be ready for a while, and we ended up staying with my father-in-law. And they have like this massive house, 1 story, a lot of land, like an acre and a half of land or so. So we're like kind of pausing for a minute to like catch our breath and like get ready for whatever is next.
Yeah.
We're sitting in the backyard and we're having a conversation, and I can't remember if you brought it up or I brought it up of just like, why don't we have the wedding here? We're about 3 weeks now from the actual original date.
And we reached out to a woman that is an event planner in Dallas, but we were like, hey, have you ever done a wedding before? Like a small, intimate wedding. Yeah. Like at that time, Texas was only allowing 30 people max to come together.
So within 3 weeks, she got her dress size and fitted that she bought in Oregon, which is also like, what?
Yes, but the thing is, we didn't even choose so many aspects of our wedding because there literally was no time. So Erica, our planner, literally just like took the just whatever we threw at her, and she just made it happen, like to the smallest details, to the colors, to everything, to the floral arrangements. Like we literally didn't choose anything hardly, but when it all came together, it was as if we had chosen every specific little thing just for us. It was
so God. Like family stepped up, family did the food, family DJ, the cake person,
our bartender,
photographer and videographers were like friends that just so happened to be
in town,
like celebrity photographers and available that came to our rescue. And it was the best day of my life. Still. And we thought it was gonna be about all the island and the beauty of that and all of that, but it all came down to, first off, it being about us. Not about people that's coming. It's like, thank y'all for being here, but this is about us, because when things get hard in marriage, it's gonna be us. It ain't gonna be y'all. It's gonna be us. That's what our faith continues to teach us. Like to your point, we can have a plan, like the Bible says, you can have your plans, but it's God's plan that's gonna prevail. So like for us, we could have gotten down on, dang, like we can't have it in Mexico. We can't do all that. Dang, I can't have this. I was gonna have special shoes made by the shoe surgeon. Like we had all of these grand plans that we wanted, and really for like boastful, prideful reasons at the root of it. And we were in a position to submit our will to His and say, God, if you let us do this wedding because that's what it's really about, then whatever you say, we'll do.
God made everything else come together in a way that we literally didn't. We couldn't have. We didn't even lift a finger to do. Like our family showed up. The people that worked with us showed up and were doing things the weather was perfection.
We were so shocked that in June in Texas, it wasn't like the heat beat. I had on a full suit, dress, everything. But it was like a nice breeze. It was perfect.
It was literally perfect. And
the sunset was beautiful. We jumped in the pool afterwards, fully clothed, dress and all. We just jumped in the pool. Like, it was just, when you really do trust God, He checks off your boxes and then some.
Listen, He don't listen.
Like
his thoughts are higher than our thoughts.
His ways
So
higher than
if
our
you
ways,
can
yeah.
come up with this perfect, beautiful day, all this stuff, what do you think God would have planned for you if you can think that? Like, we are so creative, so intentional, so all of these things. But God is better than us at that.
Still.
He's the originator of creative.
Yeah, some advice for making the right decisions on your wedding day. I would say the number one thing, like, get in lockstep with each other.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that, like, we had to legit sit down and talk to each other about what's important to us. When you do that, you actually eliminate a lot of those social norms that can, like, creep into, like, your thinking.
What I will say is that because we focused on the things that really mattered, which was us, our love, our union, and what God had planned for our marriage and our family, that day was the best day of his life, the best day of my life. I felt zero stress that day. God made sure that our family stepped up, everyone stepped up to where I legitimately never felt rushed. I never felt anxious. I only felt peace and joy and calm and all of those fruits of the Spirit that I just knew that God had ordained that day to be everything that we desired and so much more. So we actually enjoyed our wedding.
I'd add to just remain focused on what matters. That's y'all getting married.
Yep. Period.
That's it.
Yep.
Anything else after that, consider that bonus.